If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch. I stuck Ghosty in there to wave to the people.
Ghosty and where?
Over here on the screen.
Is it back on?
Yeah, they just came back on. Yeah, so Ghosty was like coming in for a second. All right, well.
My $195 speeding ticket that the fascists in Maine have put upon me.
And you can't drive or you'll get another offense.
I can't drive, I'll get another offense. Man, these fascists. I'm just going to call them all fascists. Anybody that has a law I don't like is a fascist.
Nazis.
All right, guys. We have reached the end, my friends. It is only 2:32 a.m., which is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Actually, no. I'm working on day 2.
You're over 24 hours now. Over.
Yeah. 11:30. Yeah. 2 hours in. We're working on day 2. There was one time I had 4 days straight no sleep and very little food. After a while you hit a certain, and you're okay. Like, I'm completely okay right now. I could play a full basketball game right now. Honestly, I could. I'd kick ass too.
Not me. I'll like to go to bed at some point.
Yeah.
I'm part of the regular folks.
The dirty civilian. All right, here we go.
I really push it and step with you. You give me credit for that. Give it. Go.
No, you do. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Good. Dreamcatcher, Regret of the Times is the last song on our stream, but it's not the end. You know how these reviews go. So, Dreamcatcher, Regret of the Times for DJ Revo. It's his birthday, so everybody can say happy birthday to him in the comment section.
22 for happy birthday to the big homie Revo.
All right, let's see what this description has to say. All right, DJ. You've reacted to the original STB version of this song. The government censorship board. Oh, okay.
There's a board for government. Holy shit.
Public Performance Ethics Committee that pre-screened album lyrics demanded for this song's lyrics to be changed in order to be released. ST refused and instead released the song as an instrumental on the original album release. Good for them. Outrage and protest from ST and B fans forced the government to have to get rid of the Public Performance Ethics Committee and subsequently allowing the song to be released with its original lyrics. Oh. The South Korean government starting here, could no longer ban the release of songs based on lyrical content, though it could continue to ban songs as unfit for public broadcast or inappropriate for children. This is a cover by the third-generation group Dreamcatcher that is shorter than the original. After STB their surprise breakup in 1996, a bunch of new companies sprang up putting together boy and girl groups in their style, which started the first generation wave of K-pop. Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's so interesting. One of these companies that is still a big label today is YG Entertainment, formed by STN Boys member Yang Hai Youngon YG, which is the company that put together the boy group Big Bang with G-Dragon that you reacted to. They are also a major influence on Korean hip-hop, as a wave in the late 90s and early 2000s of rap groups sprung up, bringing the genre to new heights. One of these groups being Epic High, whom you've also reacted to. STN Boys forever changed Korean pop and rap music. Right.
Yeah, they did, and it's so crazy to me that if we didn't know Revo,
we would have no clue.
We would have never. Honestly, this, and I don't know if it's the group or if it's just this dude, are probably some of the most talented people we've ever reviewed. Like, for them to like float between these genres and be able to hold their own in all of these different iterations of music, like Beatles. I honestly don't know anybody else. I don't know of another band who could do that. I really don't.
And it sounds like, I mean, these people were dealing with more than their emotions too. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on them, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All right, here we go. Dreamcatcher is the name of the band. They're doing a cover of, scroll up,
Regret of the Times.
Regret of the Times. And then this is a lyric video, so we're going to see what the hell was so controversial. Shout out to DJ Revo. Let's do this shit.
되게 시끄럽게 군에 그렇게 꺼만하기만 한 주제에 거짓된 너의 가식 때문에 너의 얼굴 가죽은 꿈틀거리고 나이 든 유식한 어른들은 예쁜 인형을 두고 거리를 헤매다니네 모두 다 은근히 바라고 있는 그런 날이 바로 오늘 올 것만 같아 덕에 물든 입술 너무 색깔처럼 그래 실대로 갔어 숱한 가식 모든 삶을 포기하는 소리를 이 세상은 모두 미쳐버릴 일이 벌어질 것 같네 너의 심장은 태워버리고 너의 그 날카로운 발톱들은 감추고 돌이킬 수 없는 과거와 모두 다 잘못되어가고 있는데 왜 기다려왔잖아 모든 삶을 포기하는 소리를 이 세상은 모두 미쳐버릴 일이 벌어질 것 같네 바로 오늘이 두 개의 달이 떠오르는 밤이야 내 가슴에 맺힌 하늘 불수
Yeah, I actually, one of them, I don't know which one, I'm going to actually go back and listen. One of their vocal styles I really, really liked a lot. But it was one of them that was hidden behind our picture, so I couldn't see which vocalist it was. But yeah, this was really pretty.
So what year did this
yeah, let's check Revo.
Was this cover done, Revo? 2017. Oh yeah, that was
probably. Like. But we have probably asked that before.
It's 2000. Yeah, June 17, 2017. Dreamcatcher killed their cover of Seo Tajazi's and Boys' Regret of the Times. So that was definitely done in 2017.
Revo says the original song was in 1995. This cover was 2017.
So 20 years? 22 years.
That's crazy. I was literally about to say, so it basically just came out. That's crazy.
Yeah, 22 years. I think it's, yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the markers of musical genius,
Yeah.
right? If people are still rocking your shit years
Yeah.
later. I mean, obviously, I think these girls are they modernized the sound. Obviously, they did their own thing on it. But that I don't know what this dude is doing now. Like CO, I don't know if he's still making music. Is he still making music? It's interesting because when I saw him in the videos, or when you see him in the pictures, he doesn't look very angsty or angry. But he was clearly unhappy. If you look at the lyrics, he's talking about the black lips, which I think is a way of talking about people lying, the fakeness, which happens. You do kind of build up this, like, it's not like rage, but there is a sort of like dark kind of subtle resentment that you get towards religious communities because of the emphasis on external appearance and not internal character. Everything is about. So I remember like being real, like as a kid, I'm talking about a rebellious kid. Like I believed in God, Christianity, the whole deal, but I was really like turned off by like just the enforced sort of like everybody's happy, everybody's good, praise God, that type of thing. And it seems like this is South Korea is a country where there's a heavy Christian influence, which obviously we're going to say is great, but it seems like there is a lot of cultural Christianity that the younger generation was fighting back against. And it seemed to me that he wasn't able to fully ventilate like as close as possible to being true to himself, how he really felt about shit. And so he always had to edit himself. Like, I just think that it just created a lot of like angst. And after a while, the money and shit like that, you go into music to express yourself, especially the type of music that we're into. You're going in there to express yourself. Obviously, these people want to be compensated. They love the fame and fortune. But it's like, especially if he became a Korn fan or a Linkin Park fan, because Jonathan was just able to let loose and throw up on everybody. Yeah. You know, Daddy, go look at that video. Like, same thing with Chester to a degree. I mean, nobody can do what Jonathan did in that first Korn record. But I can imagine him, like, listening. And it's like Revo said, like, once he got... I saw him live in BTS. Yeah, so he was with BTS in 2017. Yeah. I think that's badass. Summoning moon god Alat and daughter Allah. Actually, Alat is one of the daughters of Allah. So Allah has three daughters: Alat, Manuza, and Manat. Alat, Al-Uzza, and Manat. So Alat is one of Allah's daughters. So you have it inverted. Okay. But it seems to me like he never got to that, like, that ground zero point where what he's feeling made it onto the... Because, I mean, this is what happened. We talked about, like, pushing the Overton window a little bit. Like, if you have... This is an actual tactic in psychological operations. If I make the line this oppressive... You're gonna think, so if let's say freedom is a 5, okay, and then like oppression is like a 0, and like heavy oppression is like a -5. I set the bar at -5 so that you think if you get to a -2 that you've had a victory. Okay, so that's one of the ways of like breaking down interrogations and things like that. You have the subject. You know, when you're interrogating somebody, like, you create conditions that are, like, by necessity illegal, but you put the treatment at like a -5, and you hold it there. The whole good cop, bad cop thing, it's not really like that. So you both show up as the bad cop. and you put it at -5, and the guy is like fighting, and he really thinks like he's getting over on you when you get a -2. So it's like, oh, you won, you're really tough, blah, blah, blah. And then they completely just, unravel because psychologically they think they're beating you by giving up. So if you look at what's happening, like he is so worn down that he's never really been able to have that Jonathan Davis type experience when he's making music.
Yeah.
Because what does he worry about? What did he say on this thing that warranted a censorship from the government and all this shit? And the kids fought back and they were able to release a song with lyrics. Great.
Yeah.
He's not saying anything.
I was like,
so he's never able to really ventilate because they successfully made it so that they had some victory. I mean, at the end of the day, how many like hardcore criticisms of North Korea or South Korea are being put like real bad, like for example, Mosh, like with Eminem, this is Bin Laden, look at his head nod, and how could we allow something like this without pumping our fists now? This is our final out. Like he's talking about, he's using revolutionary language, like mosh pits outside the Oval Office, someone's trying to tell us something, maybe this is God just telling we're responsible for this monster, this coward that we have empowered. This is Bin Laden. Look, so he went after Bush and he called it mosh pits outside the Oval Office. Like, has there been, I don't know, but has there been a South Korean song that's like that critical?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the window got pushed and these poor kids thought they had a victory when in reality,
they were
and maybe their parents were like, oh, okay,
censored.
we took a loss. But in reality, it's going exactly according to plan.
Wow.
But this is why I say, like, when you talk about warfare and how to control large groups of people, you can look at North Korea as one model and South Korea as another model. Mm-hmm. North Korea has a model. We'll kill you. We'll torture you and we'll murder you. You say something about Kim Jong, we'll fucking murder you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, there are certain things you have to do to maintain that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like one of the things when you're trying to manage large groups of people, it takes so much. This is one of the reasons, like, I have no fear of a war with North Korea whatsoever. People, you spend so much money and capital trying to police your own people, and so now the military is designed to deal with very docile people who are terrified.
Oh.
But you have to spend the capital. I don't know how many millions of people there are in North Korea, but you have to spend all this capital on secret police, on making sure all the teachers are in line, etc., etc. And so it's an inefficient means.
Yeah, it is.
And the Romans understood this. That's why the Romans were like, we'll give you your religion. You can have your religion. You can do this. You can do that. Just burn a little incense to Caesar. You be on with your day. Because they understood it's impossible. Okay, then you have South Korea. South Korea is obviously more preferable than North Korea, but think about it. They're still able to control a large group of the population based on the subtle, more sophisticated ways of managing people. And notice, it all comes down to speech. Because speech control is thought control. So it's crazy to me that he was singing about this oppression, or whatever you want to call it, 20 to 30 years ago, and it doesn't appear that things have improved.
Yeah.
It's improved marginally, but not in a way that a Westerner would be comfortable with. That kind of oppression where, like, you write a song, you're like, oh man, is this going to pass the whatever, and I got to release this as an instrumental. You see how hard we work on music. You pour your whole soul into this music, and then boom, the government gets to say no, or 2 or 3 people in the government get to say no.
Wow.
And so there's a bunch of ways to skin a cat, and I'm not going to be stupid and say that South Korea is worse than North Korea. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that if you're talking about controlling large swaths of people, the South Korean model is much more sustainable over a very long period of time than the North Korean model. The North Korean model instigates assassination attempts. It leaves the regular populace vulnerable to expatriotic actors. Somebody who escaped from North Korea goes back in as a CIA plant, as an asset of the agency, and all the rest. Like, it creates all these situations where they're extremely vulnerable. Whereas in South Korea, don't be angry, but they're kind of like the average looking skinny girl with the fat friend. So South Korea is looking like, because they're being contrasted with North Korea, who has a fucking supposedly psychopath at the helm. Yeah. So they're looking really good, but they're extremely oppressive.
Yeah.
And these kids keep talking about it. And these girls keep killing themselves now because they can't deal with it. You can't deal with it. So it's a very interesting case study in like how to control people and how that works. I just feel bad for this guy because I feel like he was never truly able to get to that 0 point where he was able to do because I'm sure after Daddy, like Jonathan wouldn't perform Daddy for about 15 years live. He never, it was like a legendary secret song. And the reason is, on the one hand, it's like, it's hard for him to do it. But on the other hand, it's like, that was a singular moment.
Exactly.
And he got out what he needed to get out. And he didn't need to do it ever again.
Yeah. That's
the thing. He didn't need to do that because that was a singular moment.
You don't want to have to go back to that moment, my God.
And I think that moment always eluded this guy. Because he was between the record label and between where he was from, he was never able to get that raw about his emotions. And that to me is kind of like, that's fucked. But it's like, it's a very, very interesting. I don't know anything about that region. I don't know anything about those people, and that's why I'm like saying supposedly. I'm sure that Kim Jong-un is probably not a saint, but I'm also sure that there's a lot of exaggeration. Oh, he had his uncle eaten by a pack of dogs or whatever. Like, like ridiculous. Like, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the media. I mean, what do you think? But anyway.
Yeah. And that probably, if it's seriously that's not true, then it probably is playing off of people's racism, that you would think that he would be so barbaric that he would kill his own uncle with a pack of wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of makes people think.
Americans are just so like.
I believe it. Also, his wife ate bats. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what?
It's like, okay, people die under Kim Jong-un, I guess, according to our media, but. How many of these people has Revo talked to us about? This guy, this girl killed herself. This girl killed herself.
I know.
And those are famous people at the top of the pile. So think about, we used to have a rule at work. Like if one girl comes to you about some guy who's doing dumb shit at work, that means that girl represents 5 other girls that that's happened to.
Absolutely.
So if you have people killing themselves over this shit, the bullying along with the oppressive government, then how many girls do those people represent? So our understanding of oppression and what oppression feels like and how people react to it in history and all that, like it is very much shaped by what our oppressors want us to think. So they want us to think that South Korea is some free sort of bastion of whatever, while at the same time South Korea has been spending oodles of time and money suppressing the speech of a younger generation. So this is that fat girlfriend thing in spades, right? Because now the American government can say, look, you got these guys over there, you got South Korea. South Korea is like, hey, they're great. They're great. Wow. And it's like, oh yeah, but so now we can, and now Americans are like willing to give up their freedom of speech. And now the term freedom of speech is anathema to so many Americans. It's mind-boggling to me. But again, it's like I said on MA, there's a lot of Americans who were born and raised here and born and raised on the fucking internet.
Yep.
So they think the way they live is the way everybody lives. No. That's just the people in your little chamber that live that way. You've never met an Iranian person or a Turkish person or Syrian person or whatever. They've never met these people. So they don't understand what they have. It's like I was saying to you, last night, or I'm forgetting the days, but I'm like, man, we're fucking lucky to be Americans, man. Like, and we're gonna lose it because freedom is not the default setting of rulers. Right. Freedom makes life extremely difficult. So I really appreciated being able to like journey with this dude and like I feel like I just feel that like incompleteness of what he wanted to do as an artist.
I agree.
Like I always feel like he's always like off.
I agree.
And I think he would have been a lot more original sounding. Like he could have used the Americans as a springboard, but I think he would have been able to be a lot more original sounding. But I think he just got pigeonholed in essentially being a Korean version of an American cover band. So and it was working.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, so the record label's like, man, they don't care about him and what he's singing about. He's like, yo,
yeah.
So shout out to the homie. We've already reviewed this
sure.
song. I thought this was a decent cover. Now, I'm going to give this a 9.5. I got to give what my favorite song was the first song. 9.8.
This one's a 9.6 for me.
Have you listened to the story of You Know Me Park or the Generational Imprisonment? No, Nick. But Revo has been. It's been years. It's been years of updates and things like that with Revo. Shout out to Revo.
Yeah, sure, it's like a paid class in college. The stuff that he gives us.
Literally, we could create an entire syllabus of. If we took Revo's stuff with all the documentation that he's used, we could do an entire college semester.
I think so. Yeah.
The history of music and how it interfaces with.
Yep.
The American way of
50s,
life
60s,
and the
70s,
like there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much there. So I'm gonna give this one a 9.5. But my favorite song was I Know for sure. I Know to me sounds like their most original song. That first song didn't sound like a bunch of different bands, but all the rest of the songs like that's Cypress Hill, that's Dr. Dre, that's Run DMC. See what I'm saying? That to me, that song to me sounded like more closer to where he was. But again, like he anyway, I don't know. Really like the band. Really like this band. Thank you so much, Revo. What a ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you guys.
Happy birthday, Revo.
I was at Target. I was at Target when I was on assignment in Houston, and it was Christmas time, and prior to hooking up with this pagan, I didn't do Christmas presents on Christmas.
Oh my God.
It was actually this pagan and you pagans because people started sending us shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
We did a live stream. Yes. We did a live stream on Christmas.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I was there. And so Dorian's trying to convince me to get him something for Christmas. I said, hey buddy, you had a birthday in October, didn't you? He said, yeah. I said, what did people show up with at your birthday present? He said, presents. I said, did you give any presents to anybody? He goes, no, it's my birthday. And I said, exactly. The cash register was like, looking at you, fucking Nazi. How dare you say this to this poor child with the curly hair? They're going to call CPS on me. The reason I'm telling that story, dear listener, is that our brother, our big homie Revo, gifted us on his birthday.
Oh, that's where you were going. Yes, he did. He did.
He gifted us on his birthday. So thank you very much for that, Revo. We really appreciate you. If you, we got more DJ streams coming up. Nick Haas, remember to email me. Okay, VinandSori@gmail.com.
He already did. Yep, I know exactly who he is.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can square that circle.
Yeah. Yep,
okay.
Absolutely.
Mashallah. Okay. Good.
We will square that circle.
Yeah, and Revo, give us updates on how you're feeling, man. Because holy shit, what was it? Anyway, give us updates on how you're feeling. I hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much, Revo, for everything. Ojer, I love you guys. Say hello to Brazil. Long live freaking Brazil. Gang shit. Long live Kai, and definitely long live Big Bro Revo. Thank you very much, dear listener. We will be back with another set of ridiculously amazing songs from literally all across the globe. If you're on Patreon in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to put up the solo. You can tell Soraya, yo, that shit was weak, bro. It's okay.
Or tell me, just tell me. You gotta just tell me what it is, okay?
That's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. You can be honest with her. I've already tried to be honest with her. You saw that one.
Yeah, well,
All right. All the rest of you beautiful people, we are out of here.